Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. We are here talking about the total lunar eclipse, which is a full moon in the sign of Virgo, happening on the 13th or 14th of March 2025, depending on where you are in the world. If you are on the Pacific coast of North America, Pacific time zone, this is going to happen for you at 11:54 p.m. at the height on the 13th, and everywhere else it's going to be on the 14th. Okay. So the majority of people are going to see this on the 14th. But it is a total lunar eclipse. So it is a big deal. And what do eclipses bring? Well, first, we've got the energy of a full moon. So full moons can be the end of a cycle. It can be a karmic cycle. It can just be a cycle in your life. Full moons can, have us reaping what we've sown, so we can get rewards. We can get things that manifest in our lives. We can get new insights to things at a full moon because it does tend to be a little bit more spiritual. Emotions are heightened, and sometimes this can bring some heightened awareness for us as well. And we are in Pisces season also. Yes, the full moon is in Virgo, but we are in Pisces season up to the 20th of March. So this can certainly be where we do have those heightened insights. We get some spiritual awakenings going on. Pay attention to your dreams because you could have some very interesting ones at this time. But full moons are really good for healing as well, and of course, letting things go. Virgo energy, right? The full moon, we've got the influence of Virgo. And Virgo is a very down-to-earth energy. The ruler is Mercury, who is going retrograde. So we do have that going on as well. We've got two retrogrades, okay, happening at the same time as this full moon. But we do have the Virgo energy, which rules the 6th house. Your 6th house is all about your health, happiness, well-being on all levels. Okay, your spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. Virgo is very connected with your gut health. So some of you may be really kind of assessing your eating habits. Maybe there's no other goal other than, eating healthier, right? Maybe you've been eating too many processed foods, too much fast food, instant food that we get from the grocery store. And, maybe you're going to look at eating more whole foods, more vegetables, or more home cooked foods, right? And you'll probably see a really big difference in your energy level, in your digestive system, things like that, right? So it can be really helpful. And of course, one of the side effects is maybe you've got more energy and, maybe you would lose a little bit of weight, but the main goal might be just to eat healthier a little bit, whole foods kind of thing. So that can come up with Virgo energy. Some of you may be looking to ditch some sedentary lifestyle. You want to get a little bit more fit. So you might start an exercise regime. Maybe you start a spiritual practice or get back into practicing, your spiritual self there. Do some more meditation, whatever that looks like to you. Some of you, of course, the 6th house is being of service to others, helping people out a little bit. And it is associated with pets as well. So some of you are going to get a pet. Perhaps if you've had one that's crossed the rainbow bridge, your heart is opening up for a new one. Or perhaps, unfortunately, some of you might, need to let one of your little fur babies go, unfortunately. But there's a healing element that comes here as well. And maybe it's because it's, time, right? Sometimes that's just the way you have to make those difficult decisions. But if you are in a position where maybe you're not quite ready to have a pet, maybe you give back to your community in some way. Maybe you volunteer as a dog walker at your local animal shelter or something. And this can help out pets in need, right? Even if you can't have one yourself. So the 6th house can certainly bring this big healing element. Some of you could be, have a job change in line for you, in store for you, if you're not happy where you are, you're not getting paid what you're worth. Venus retrograde has us thinking about that, thinking about your worth, your value, how you make your money, what resources are available to you, how you create a better circumstance for yourself. So Venus retrograde can be very helpful in that because we are in this reflecting mode, right? That's one of the important things to remember about this lunar eclipse. It is about reflection. Two retrogrades get a bad rap, and sometimes rightfully so, but we need to remember the words when it comes to retrogrades. They slow us down a little bit. They have us taking a step back. we reassess, reevaluate, regroup, refocus, renew, and sometimes even revive, we can get something that comes back around again for us, or maybe someone, if that's in the cards for you. It can be fated events. It can be unexpected surprises, especially where eclipses are involved. Okay. And those retrogrades on top of that. So it's like layers on layers of, I don't know what's happening, but something is shifting for me. So just keep your eyes open for that. But with the 6th house, Virgo energy, really focusing on your daily patterns, habits, routines. Where do you work? Do you drive long distances? Do you want to work from home? Are you leaving a career behind because maybe you've hit the proverbial glass ceiling, or it just doesn't do it for you anymore? It doesn't give you any kind of satisfaction anymore. You might be considering a job change there for yourself as well. So you might be starting to put the feelers out, okay, with that. One of the things that can happen with eclipses is we do tend to feel ungrounded and a little bit carried away. So like I said, I can't really express this enough. Let's take a step back. Okay, reflect, refocus, reassess something, evaluate something, ask some questions, okay? Because retrograde energies on top of eclipses can have us being really impulsive. Emotions can run high, conversations get out of control, opportunity, if we want to call it that, for miscommunication is very rampant at this time as well, especially once Mercury goes retrograde also in Aries on the 14th, same day as the eclipse. Okay, so it's like, big shocking, could be a shocking announcement, whether it's something close to home for you, or it could be something out in the world, right? Can come out there as well. So it's going to be important to keep your wits about you, connect with your heart, think before you speak, sleep on something instead of being impulsive, and of course, really connect with your heart, connect with your spirit, connect with your spiritual practice, do a little soul searching. Virgo is very connected with soul searching, okay? Because eclipses are a wild card, right? Wild card energy, shocks, surprises, fated events, and all of that. And so sometimes we just can't see something coming. And there is a huge energy of endings with this eclipse. Okay, not just because it's a full moon, which can bring endings anyway, but also this is happening at 23 degrees and 57 minutes. And when we have an eclipse there, we round up to 24 degrees. And if you follow degree astrology at all, 24th degree is Pisces degree, which is the last sign of the zodiac. And so this can bring some powerful endings before we head into our brand new astrological new year. So whether it's, again, that it can be really supportive if you're trying to break a habit, right? We'll say that right now. Or if you're trying to leave something behind, that some baggage that you've been carrying with you, or maybe some relationships, friendships, romantic relationships that you've been trying to shake for a while, or you just know haven't been healthy for you, right? This can be where we just make that final decision. We're like, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I can't do this anymore. But whatever your situation is, just remember that there can be some very heightened emotions at this eclipse, at this full moon, okay? One word to note, Saturn is tightly conjunct the sun at this lunation, and the sun, of course, is in opposition to the moon when we've got a full moon, and so this can be a big reality check. Saturn, of course, is the planet that likes us to set goals, get down to reality, likes to teach us life lessons, of course, and can really say, because Saturn is a heavy energy, and it can really say, hey, time to make a plan. Stop it with this wishy-washy Pisces energy, right? Get a plan in place. You want to have a dream? What are you dreaming about? Your imagination is a wonderful thing, but we don't want to live in fantasy. We want to come into reality. So how can you turn your dreams into reality? What's stopping you? What is opposing you, right? The sun wants to go forward, and the moon, right, in Virgo, South Node energy is holding you back. So where is your breakthrough? Because one is at hand, okay? And Saturn is actually helping you to do that by putting something down on paper. What are you dreaming of? Put it on paper. What is your first step? you don't always need to look past the first step, because the first step is helping us to get our toe out of our comfort zone. And then it's like, oh, nothing bad happened. Okay, I'll take another step. And I'll take another step, and I'll take another step, and eventually we snowball. So this can really be a very helpful energy for you to get your dreams into reality. But we do have to put some goals down, or we do have to, put a little bit of a framework together to give us a sense of direction. Okay, it can always be changed, can always be adjusted. Okay, but we've got to start somewhere. And if we don't take that first step, we'll forever be right where we are. And that's not always fulfilling on whatever level for us. We're meant to go forward. We're not meant to stay in a comfort zone. Humanity did not evolve by staying in a comfort zone. Okay, so it's time to just do a little bit of something there. Even if it's something that you always wanted to try, some wild, audacious dream that you always wanted to do. I always wanted to go ziplining, or I always wanted to do bungee jumping, or I always wanted to travel, to wherever. What's stopping you, right? Time to put that dream into motion. Will it all come to fruition tomorrow? Probably not. Okay, but you can at least get started. All right. Big reminder there for that moon. Okay. So where will we see this eclipse? Well, it depends. It actually has a huge path of potential visibility. Of course, depends on your weather. Let's see. It's and don't forget, the path of totality for an eclipse does tend to be where we get news. Okay, it can be some interesting news. It can be some surprising news, some shocking news. It can be something, joyous, right? We just never know. But the path of totality, we've got all of North America, the western half of South America, partially visible in the UK, parts of Europe, parts of Africa, and Australia. So we do have a lot of people that can potentially really see this eclipse. It is also called a blood moon eclipse, so it could be really interesting to watch. Anyway, that is the energy update that I have for you guys for your eclipses. And so we're going to get into your sign and pull some cards for you. Again, timestamp down below. If you're watching the long video, all of the signs are on this one video. If you're just watching your single video, because I'm breaking them up a little bit, just helps people find them a little bit easier, then I'll put the links to the other videos down below as well, so you can just click around. And again, make sure you watch your sun, moon, and rising, your big three, but also watch your Venus sign, because Venus is, of course, playing a key role in this eclipse as well. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck in this eclipse energy, and let's get started. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your total lunar eclipse full moon in Virgo reading. So you're going to be experiencing this in your third astrological house. So a big heads up for you guys, okay, because the third house is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is, of course, in shadow up until the eclipse, and on the 14th it goes retrograde. In the sign of Aries. So of course you could have a greater heightened potential for miscommunication. So focus on positive communication. Okay. If a conversation has the potential to get out of hand, timing is everything. Okay. If you're dealing with a person that's not a morning person and they like to have quiet in the morning and drink their cup of coffee, that's probably not the time to have an important conversation with them. They're probably not going to welcome it and be open to it as much as maybe something later in the day. So sometimes we need to just be a little bit more aware of the timing of things, okay? The third house also has to do with driving, all right? So just be very careful, Cancer. I will say that there could be there's a heightened potential. You don't want to scare you or anything like that, but there is a heightened potential, for a fender bender. Because the third house does have to do with short trips, travel through your neighborhood, and your vehicles. Okay, so and eclipses, sometimes you won't see something coming. Okay, it just comes out of the blue. I will say from personal experience, the last time, it was last year actually, I had an eclipse in my sign in the third house, and I backed into something with my car. I haven't backed into anything or had a car accident in 30 years, but hey, I did that day. So, and literally, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Actually, the sun was in my eyes, creating a massive blind spot. And I didn't see something as I came into a parking lot, anyways. And there it was. So just be aware of that. Okay. Especially backing into things and things, just double check your surroundings and that kind of thing. You could potentially have something going on with your computer, with your cell phone, your devices or something, because we do have Neptune at its aneretic degree, which is connected with water. Be extra cautious around bodies of water of all kinds with your technology. Hey, this is where you might accidentally, your phone might fall out of your pocket and drop into the toilet or something, or drop into the bathtub or something. So that's never a good thing typically, so those kinds of things. But the third house also does have to do with your social life, your perception of things. So you could have changing perception about something. And this is where it's like you don't see something the same way as you used to. And now you're like, I got to let something go. I got to leave something behind. Your social life, right? Your social groups, people that you normally hang out with or that you're connected with online. Maybe you're like, I just don't align with these people anymore. So you could be doing some extra deep thinking at this time here, Cancer. Who am I connected with and why? Is it out of habit? Is it genuine connection? Quite often we do drift away because we do have heightened spiritual awareness coming in, big shifting energy for the collective, right? And as we evolve in many aspects of our lives, not just spiritually, but as we evolve, we often, because our energy shifts, our energy change, we no longer feel aligned with certain people or social groups that we used to. So this might be where you are moving away, drifting away, or cutting off completely some social connections in your life. Be better for you in the future, most likely. But, it's sometimes it just happens naturally. It happens organically. And sometimes we actually need to pull the plug. So you could be cleaning up your social media. All right. For one, for sure there. But some of you, you're maybe making some final plans on a trip somewhere. You could be in opposition with someone, and this can be because the sun is in your ninth house at this time, and your ninth house has to do with big ideas, big plans, and big trips, usually long distance travel, often with that. And your third house, which is where the moon is, where the lunar cycle is right now, is short trips. Think of like a little road trip somewhere. Think of, being a tourist in your own town. Think of, going on a vacation, but you only have to drive a couple hours to get there, right? And so there could be a little bit of push and pull between that, and so you could be, maybe it's financial thing, maybe it's just that one person wants something. If you're traveling with someone, one person wants one thing, one person wants another. So maybe you have to find a way. An opposition just means differences of opinion, or we're on just a different page than another person. And if we communicate properly, then perhaps we can find a compromise, all right, if both people keep an open mind. All right. We have new moon beginnings coming in here for you guys, and this is card number 2. So 2 can certainly represent balance and harmony. It can represent partnerships, but also decisions here as well. And new moon beginnings, okay, so there could be something new that you want to do, but you've got to step through a portal. You've got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And this lunar eclipse, because Virgo is the south node, is about breaking free, breaking away from something that's been holding you back and getting out of your comfort zone, finding a way forward. And of course, we got a new moon in 2 weeks. So the next couple of weeks can be very important for you. Maybe this is where you see things differently. Maybe it's where you clean house on something, or you make some decisions on about where you want to go, or your travel, or you're expanding your horizons. We're stepping through a portal. Okay, the surrounding that colorful portal is kind of dreary and gray. Something has lost its luster. There's something bright and shiny ahead. All right, and it could be pretty much anything. The third house where this lunation is occurring for you is like the junk drawer of astrology. Okay, there's lots of different things that go on in there. Okay, but this is certainly something that's moving you forward to the future. Your sun, we've got the sun card here for you, which is ideas. Oddly enough, that is card number 9. And 9 is where your sun is right now, in your ninth house. And big ideas, right? The ninth house energy, big ideas, shifting perceptions, looking at your belief systems, long distance travel, higher level of learning. Okay. And this is where you can really take your ideas and put them into motion. So what ideas do you have? What dreams do you have? Remember, Saturn is cozying there up with the sun at this eclipse. Okay. And Saturn, of course, is encouraging you to follow your dreams and use your imagination and turn your vision into reality, but we've got to have a plan. All right. Got to have a plan in place. We've got to write something down, lay down the framework of something. You don't have to know all the details. Okay. But get ready, because this is an opportunity for you to change your perception or put those ideas in motion. And I love that alignment for you there, right? That sun in your ninth house is really happening. And the sun card with card number 9. And ninth house is Sagittarian energy. So think freedom, think excitement, think adventure, right? Think of big picture. So expand your horizons and live out your dreams. So we're going to get you a fortune card, because we're going to just have a little bit of fun. These things I tell you, they've been bang on every single reading so far. Your fortune. Oh, how you love to whistle and sing. Oh, how you love to dance and swing. Your future life with joy will ring, with all the happiness it will bring. You have a very sympathetic nature. You devote a great many hours to the welfare of others. You have a very fine mind, and if you cultivate it properly, you will be very successful. You are very fond of sports and love to dance. You have a graceful walk and a determined step. You always walk as though you know exactly where you're going. People respect you for your determination, and you will endure some hardship in the near future, but eventually everything will turn out for the best, and unending happiness will be yours. Your lucky numbers: 22, 44, 37, 38, 35, and 20. That's what I've got for you, Cancer. Good luck in this lunation. Stay tuned in another week or so for your solar eclipse reading, which I'll put up there for you. But I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.